more, but to celebrate the lives of two warriors for God. So let's just praise God right now for these wonderful vessels of love and light. Hallelujah. Now, our program will be altered just slightly, but rightly. Help me say, just slightly, but so rightly. Yeah. The premier dynamic brother of this planet is with us today, but he's on a tight schedule. He's supposed to be in a suburb doing a seminar, but because of his great love and respect for our dear brother and sister, Prince Ben Asiel, Ben Asiel, and his lovely wife, he has come by and said that he could not go to his other appointment before he came by to share in this moment of celebration. So would you just lovingly receive our brother, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, whom I dearly love, he's my friend.
Dear brothers, sisters, first I want to apologize. I'm dressed not like I would ordinarily be. I'm on my way to a seminar that features the great martial artists of the country. But I had to stop here. First to my dear brother and friend and Pastor T.O. Barrett, his wife, family. To Prince Asiel Ben Asiel, his dear wife and mother of the deceased, Dr. Erica Bennett, and to all of the distinguished brothers and sisters who are present. It's a great honor to be here, and it is a great honor to celebrate life, because we cannot celebrate life without celebrating the only one who is the life giver, and that is the Creator himself, by whatever name we choose to call him. We all know there's only one.
Yes.
So to my dear brother and sister, as we celebrate life and celebrate God, we celebrate time, because none of us knows the place of our passing. None of us knows accurately the time of our return to him who sent us. But we all know that at some point in time, we will be separated from those who love us and whom we love. That's a tough time. I just lost my son, my firstborn son, and I thought about my mother. I summoned the strength to say her burial, and also in Boston where her body lies. The death of my brother, the death of my uncle. So every living family member, except my siblings, I should say my siblings, my children, I have mourned their loss. But none like the loss of my son, Louis. And I thank you all for your cards, condolences, and your presence at my son's janazah, which we photographed, videographed, and it was seen all over the world. But today, my brother as also and sister have lost their firstborn. That's hard. But God is so good that even when we suffer loss, His mercy prevails in how we handle the misfortune of life.
Talk about it.
God's mercy is so magnificent. He knows the pain. He knows the hurt of the parting. But He also, when He created us, put within us hormones that help us to deal with the extremes of life. Helps us to deal with misfortune, accident, and death. But we cannot access those hormones with the wrong attitude toward our loss.
Speak, sir.
What attitude should we have? Some of us are not going to live to be 100. Some of us are not going to live a long, long life. Some of us will be taken in the womb. And some of us will be taken at birth. Others will live to be mature, have children, and others of us will live to the point where, having known, we now know nothing. But none of us are cheated. Death and life come to us. And now how to bear it with the dignity of the righteous. Yes. Grief should never accompany the death of a righteous person and those who love them. Grief is for the wicked. The wicked that don't know how to access what God has put within to help us bear the misfortunes of life. None of us can come this way without misfortune at some point in our lives. But it's how we handle it that will give us the strength to bear it. So I didn't greet you this morning in the traditional greeting, but the greeting that I offer is the greeting of peace. This is shalom. In the Hebrew context, it's salam. In the Arabic context, but in any language, peace is what God wants for His servants. How do we have peace in a troubled world like this? How can we celebrate the life of this beautiful young man? When we lost him young, no father, no mother wants to outlive their children. We want to go first and see them go into the road of life with the strength that we offer, the values that we teach. So the only way to access what God has put within is to recognize that He is the sovereign Lord, that there is no life without God, And there is no life that escapes death. None. So to my dear and beloved brother, friend, companion in struggle, we access what God has put within by recognizing this. This soul came through us, but not from us.
Talk about it.
This soul came from him who originated the heavens and the earth.
Yes.
His beloved mother didn't know she was expecting until she missed a menses. But God said, I created you in the womb. God knew when the sperm left us, and the one sperm that caused the egg to ovulate and become the first cell of life, God was present right then. You didn't say it's time for a heartbeat. You didn't say it's time for eyes, for ears, for a tongue, for hands, for feet, and a brain to think, to have vision. You didn't do that. That was done by God. And by his grace, when this young man was born, he couldn't have made it if it was not for the milk that was in your breast to feed him, to nurture him. And that milk came from the beneficence of God.
Okay.
So here we are. He's gone from us, but is he really gone? See, death don't come to the righteous and we just go. The righteous in the Bible are called the stars of God. You got stars out there you can't even number, and some of the stars have lost their life thousands of years ago, but their light is still penetrating through the darkness and reaching us today. So what you do with your time, the precious life that you have given to God, Prince Asiel and Pastor Barrett, the good work that you do, the people whose lives you touch, the people whose lives you save by the guidance of God, that doesn't die. So physically we all got to go, but the light of our presence in the name of God will continue long after we have gone back to the grave. How do we access that beautiful hormone that makes us bear our sorrow? We access it by saying, Father, thank you for this precious life that you gave us. You took him back. He belonged to you. You knew the time when you came from his mother's womb. We didn't know. We weren't prepared, but thank you, Father, for the days, for the weeks, for the months, for the years that we shared together. See, it's that spirit of gratitude to God that gives you access to that from your own brain that gives you the strength to bear a terrific loss. I was with my pastor when he lost his precious daughter. And I know that if this was not a man of God, it could have broken him because his daughter and he were so close. I feel that pain with the loss of my son, but I knew he wasn't mine. He came through me, but he belonged to him who gave it to us. I will surely miss him as you will surely miss your son. But every day that a memory comes up of a word, of a smile, of a laugh, of a joke, even anger. Every time you think of them, maybe a tear will come to your eye. but in that moment, gratitude to God for this precious life. There's no grief for you, my dear mother. None. Sorrow, yes. And I used to love to hear Jesse, when he preached, he would say, sorrow may endure for the night. But what did he say comes in the morning? Joy, because life continues on. And the spirit of this young man is alive. It's moving in those whom his life has touched. So lift up your heads, dear brothers and sisters. Lift up your heads and be grateful to him who gave us life. And to all of you, Dr. Bennett, my dear Hermine, my dear owner of that wonderful newspaper and head of the Black Publishers, my dear pastors that are here, my assistant Ishmael Muhammad and family members, live your life. And every step that you take in the name of God will ensure longevity. Not physical longevity, but spiritual longevity. May Allah bless you. May He comfort you. May He guide and protect you. May the memory of this precious soul bring us joy every time we think about it and the beauty of his life. Thank you, Asiel, for honoring me with an invitation to come. Thank you, Pastor Barrett, for allowing me this privilege to be in this house again with my brother. And may Allah bless all of you. Live your life and do good, and your life will be remembered by those whom your good has touched. Thank you very much. May I please be excused. I love you.
While you are still standing, the Bible says that we have earthen treasures The Bible says we have earthen treasures in earthen vessels, but wouldn't we all agree that we have Minister Farrakhan heavenly treasures in an earthen vessel? Let's pray for our treasure, Minister Louis Farrakhan. You may be seated. The program will follow itself. Opening prayer by Ben Asiel. Scripture and remarks Rabbi James Hodges Sr. from the House of Israel Temple of Faith. And then the program will follow. Everyone who's on the program, you will not be introduced. You will just come up and do what you are prescribed to do. Amen? God bless. Is Yusuf Ben Asiel here?
Sabo.
All right, you will. This time. Do we have someone to?
Yes, he's going to do that. This is my son from Israel too. This is Ben Asiel, and his name means the voice of God. So how appropriate.
Bow your head, Holy Spirit, please. נמש לכבוד, יחווה שפתיים תפתח תגיד תהילתך. אשא עיניים אל ההרים, מהן יבוא עזרי. עזרי מן יחווה עושה שמיים וארץ, אל יתן לנו לריק. יחווה רואי לא יחסר, בנאות דשא ירבצן, על מי מנוחות ינחלם. נפשי שובב ינחם, במעגלי צדק למען שמו. גם כי ילך בגיא צל מוות, לא ירא רע. כי אתה עמדי, שבטך ומשענתך מים מחמוד. תערוך לפניי שולחן נגד צהריי. ישנת בשמן, ראשי כוסי רוויה. אך טוב וחסד ירדפוני כל ימי חיי, ושבתי בבית יחווה לאורך ימים. הללויה, 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 יחד, יחד, יחד. Selah. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the godly, nor standeth in the way of sinners. For his word is in the law of the Lord, and in the law do he meditate day and night. As he a tree that is planted by the root of the water, bringing forth his fruit in the season, as the leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. The ungodly are not sober like a chaff that drives away, like the wind that bloweth away. Therefore, we stand in the presence of the Creator at this time. We want to give praise, glory, and honor to him who says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. So I say, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah. I'm just going to take a few moments to talk just about Prince Asiel and our relationship, and not only the relationship, our relationship pertaining to this way of life, and the life and the passing of this brother here. We go so far back. We go so far back. I remember way back when we were looking at 50 years when we came out of darkness into the light of who we are, where we are, where our inheritance lies. So-called Negro don't know who we are. Transatlantic slave trade, if you look at the 28th chapter of the book of Deuteronomy, tells us who we are as a people and what we're going to, why we are here today. I was trying to think of how we could kind of explain how and the need for us to be here today so we can move ourselves to another level of thinking. It's going around now and says, who is the black man? Let's keep saying, the black man is the father of civilization. Then we go back to what? Who we are as human beings, and that's nations, and that's nationality. The transatlantic slave trade happened to a specific group of people. I'm just going to take 2 minutes in. I'll be through in a second. But I just want to leave this because I don't want us to think that this gathering, I think we should move it to another level and be moved to another level. Because Prince Asiel is the foundation of a spirit that was released 50 years ago or more, when we, a bunch of us thought a new thought, and a bunch of us left and went to Israel. Prince Asiel was an instrument in that, and we saw him walk as an ambassador. We called it at that time, it was the nation of Israel. And he walked behind kings. And he was our ambassador today. And what we go, I just want to make this statement, I'll get through in a second. But I just don't, I think because the death of this brother, this young man, affords us an opportunity to take a look at a life that has been going on for over 50 years. And what we want to do today, some of you all newspapers, televisions, or whatever you have, we got to know that we just can't keep saying what's in it for the black man. We have to name the black man we're talking about. And all of us sitting here today, we're Hebrew Israelites. Nationally speaking. We're nationally speaking. Like the Chinese and the Chinese, the Japanese and the Japanese. We are the nation of Israel, and Creator made an unconditional covenant with us. And the covenant is being fulfilled. That's a whole lot more that we can be saying, but I want to say to my brother here, the reason that we're here, to me, the reason this young man passed on, will give us an opportunity to think a new thought pertaining to who? Ourselves. Who we are, where we are, and what is our destiny today. And what is our destiny? Our destiny is to know who we are, where we are, and what we are supposed to be about. What are we supposed to be about? The representative of the Creator. The Creator made an unconditional covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It's in the book. Unconditional covenant. And we are the results of the unconditional covenant. And the unconditional covenant is being fulfilled, and we are a part of that. We are part of nationality. When you say, who is the black man? We got to name the baby. I think that's a scripture says, name the baby. The baby got to be named. So-called Negro in America, 85% of them are Hebrew Israelites. And that's what we got to be able to say.
That's right.
And if we say that, we set ourselves apart from other color folks and other people that don't want to claim their nationality. But this is what we're talking about. And I think that Prince Asiel and what we are doing is going to move
level of identity and nationality. This is what we want.
New York.
Nationality. And this is what we're looking for. And we just want to know that you are not just the actors, the people that left us before, all the students. And you are. That's why you got people. You are an example. And we'll be talking about it, be looking at it, and folks will be looking at it. Amen. So may the Creator continue to bless us. And we're not grieving. We're rejoicing, but we're rejoicing because it gives us an opportunity to move to another level. So may the Creator continue to bless us and keep us in the center of here, that we might continue to do what they asked us to do in these last and evil days. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Rabbi. As you all can see, so many. Yes.
First, Rabbi, let me thank you. The reason I wanted the Rabbi to come first, he's 90 years old and he's the senior visionary that brought to me and to many of us the understanding of what he said. And I wanted his children throughout the world to know we did not make a mistake. The reason I'm here at Life Center is that this is not a funeral, this is a resurrection of my son's life.
Yes.
When we said walk with kings and not lose the common touch, God gave me a brother and a big brother, Paul King, to train me how to walk with kings. I wanted this to be a combination because all of my life I've told the people, Prince Asiel is not an individual. He's a combination of the men and the women that have come into his life over the last 50 years that have made me what I am. And so when I see Paul King and Steve Carter, when I see Reverend Henry Hardy and Haki Mabuti, when I see Dr. Shakisha, when I see the great men and women, this is what this is about to be. This is a resurrection and a continuity of purpose for our lives. And as an alpha man in the very beginning, it prepared me to become an international man, to guide our people back to truth. When Dorothy Lavelle, the head of the black newspapers, put her arms around me and went to Israel and took on the government of Israel and made them respect what we was doing there. When W.L. Lillard came and met me and told me, Prince, I'm with you, and brought more than 500 businessmen. When T.L. Barry opened his door, when they arrested me and didn't run because they thought I was a criminal, he knew that I was with God. And he and Reverend Hardy and Minister Farrakhan came down. And when Paul King came to Washington, D.C. to see me, that's why I'm gathered here, to let us know the Hebrew is not a religion. It is the power of God in men and women throughout this world. When I went from Dakar, Senegal, to Nairobi, Kenya, to meet Idi Amin and Jomo Kenyatta, or Cairo, Egypt, to meet Sadat, and go to Cape Town to meet the Mandelas. I wanted us here to know that my sons and grandchildren, their father was the best and the worst in me. That's the prodigal son who wakes up and realizes we had to do something different. If I didn't make mistakes, I wouldn't have known what a mistake was. in order to correct it. He didn't make mistakes. He was on the learning curve so that his children would not make the same mistakes. So today, I wanted you to hear from the men and the women that represent Prince Asiel, so that you would know that Ben Asiel is in this room right now, so that you don't go out here thinking that you came to a funeral. This is a life celebration. He was born free. Just as the minister said, my wife, when I became aware of my historical roots, she did not want to, but this great woman had the courage to say to me, I want your child, it's a boy, to be born free. And she went to Northeast Africa. Now listen to this. In the city of Abraham, and gave birth to a free black child that could live for the future. And when you look at his children, you'll know that he was a sacred seed, because he's produced life and love and greatness. And he gave the world with his wife, the mother of them, Kaviva, the world again through these great daughters and sons. So I'm saying to you today, don't think of this as a funeral. These are tears of joy, because Paul King beat it into me. He made me strong. The test of a man is the fight that he makes, the grit that he daily shows, the way that he stands upon his feet and takes life numerous months and goes. No matter how straight the gate or charged with punishment to scroll, I am the captain of my fate. I'm the master of my soul. That man put it in me. And I'm eternally grateful. His wife, the love that she put in us and women is unheard of. These are godly people. These are godly people. Dr. Mason, when I see you, you verified the vegan diet. After 25 years as a urologist, I didn't know whether or not becoming a vegan was good or bad. I knew it was better than pig feet and pigtails, pig ears, skin. But when he came with the science to prove that it's the only diet that can make the body heart attack and stroke proof, that's the only reason I'm here. Because at 28 years old, Johanna told me one morning I woke up strangling because I was smoking. She said, you're going to die before you're 30. And the reason I didn't want to die, she was too cute at 28 years old. I couldn't imagine not being there. So that inspired me to find a way to live. And because of that, we have two beautiful daughters. Ahava, the love of God. Aliza, the joy of God. That's what she gave me. And then gave me back myself. They caused her heartache, pain. That was me giving her hell. But because of her powerful love, she endured it all. And so today we celebrate the prodigal sons, not a son, because Yehuda adopted him and his siblings, 5 of them.
Okay, so.
5 of them. When Marvin Gaye was saying, save the babies. I didn't know them. But when his mother called me and said, I don't have a place to stay, I came and picked him up and put him in my care, because I love the children. So I'm saying, all of you great men and women in here, are the warriors. I represent you. You're the workers. You couldn't go. I went for you. The children that was born in Israel and grew up, I represented the best you could be. And so I'm saying today, as this program unfolds, if it don't be for Hakeem, there would be no education system in Israel. Because him and Shafisa started the Institute of Positive Education. And 4 people come out of that institute, went to Israel, and built an international school system. It was him with Third World Press, Black Books Bulletin, that put me on the cover, Blacks and Jews. I'm telling you, you got to know this history. Prince Asiel is not an individual. He's these great men and women in this room. When I see my sisters sitting in this audience that came and got me at 16 years old from the police station at 58th Street because I was over on the lake trying to chase a girl and the police was chasing us with reefers. She came and said, listen, I represent this son. Say he's going to get her 16 years old. That eternal love. She couldn't do what I did, but she pushed me. My oldest brother pushed me. So I'm saying today, family, it's a family gathering from all walks of life. Whatever we called ourselves, in our core is what the minister talked about. That God gene that made us resonate with each other. So, on the program today, this son, Yehuda, I wanted his friends to know him, to come up and say a word. And I think Uziyahu, you and Rav Baruch, where are you? Let's start with you. Because I want Yehuda to be recognized today. I lost 2 firstborn sons. He left here in March. He was 52 years old. This is one of the priests of the new world we're building, Brother Baruch. And I love him because he looked like a white boy and we made him be a Jew all over the world.
Thank you, Albert. First, giving all praise to the Most High God of all creation, to Prince Asiel, my father, and my mother, the God family, the brothers and sisters from the Nation of Islam, and all those that are here to recognize and in memory of our young warrior brothers here. I greet you in peace. Wow. It's been a long journey, but it's been a short journey. And I just want to say that Yehuda was a special part of my family. I had the honor and privilege of meeting him in Israel in 1976 in Shechem. That's what we call it. It was a housing complex. And Yehuda was the type of young son at that time that stood out. He was different from all the other Yorudim that I came in contact with. He was strong. He was dedicated. Even at a young age, he had a very powerful spirit. And as years passed on and I got to know you because, as Prince was saying, I was a part of the international staff for 15 years. It wasn't that I spent a lot of time in the midst of our brothers and sisters in Israel. But in 1985, when the adversary decided that he would attempt to dissolve what Prince Asiel and the warriors in the black community had begun to build and initiate. So in 1985, I was arrested and deported. Well, before my deportation, I was arrested and I spent a year in Ramla prison where they had the terrorists mostly housed there. And when I walked into the prison, I was being transferred from the prison in Beersheba and transferred to Ramla prison. The first person I saw was Yehuda. He had been arrested before I was. And he always had that big smile, you know. Baruch, Yehuda, I got you, bro. Come on. And he brought me in, and he supplied me with everything I needed. He brought me to the brothers. And needless to say, with the spirit that he possessed, we were supposed to be incarcerated in Rome. But we took over Rome. They loved us in Rome. The head of the prison was named Ben Asiel. Yeah, he was Ben Asiel. He was the head of the prison, the warden. And he told, we were out on the yard one day, he told them, a lot of Israelis and terrorists, he said, these are the real Jews of Israel. This is the warden. And I remember that because Yehuda was a spokesperson. He represented. And we had a priest in our midst, his name was Shaul HaKohen. And Shaul played the guitar, but they wouldn't let him have the guitar because it had strings. And they were afraid he would try to hang himself or commit suicide or something. But Yehuda approached Ben Asiel, and we got the strings. And every morning we woke up, Shaul HaKohen would march through the prison singing Shema Yisrael every morning. And Yehuda was the cause of that. But not only that, we had a certain diet. Yehuda was instrumental in making sure we got the types of foods that we ate. And on and on. So after I was deported back to America, Babylon, hell, however you want to call it. Some years later, I got a call. One of my sons was in Hawaii, in the Navy. He's still in the Navy. Been in the Navy 28 years. Getting ready to make history. Making Master Chief in the Navy. But another son ran into my son in Hawaii. wife, one of Ephraim's sons, and he found out where I was from my son. So about 2 days later, I get a call, and it's Yehuda. And he said, Baruch, where are you? I said, hey, I'm on the Gulf Coast in Mississippi. He said, I'm coming that way. He said, you got something for me? I told him just like he told me. Hey, I got you. Come on. And we were reunited again. And he always had huge dreams, you see. And Yehuda was the type of guy, what you see is what you get. He don't put on no show. He don't play. He's straight up. And that's what I loved about him. Because I like to feel that I'm a serious person. And he always impressed me as a serious person. So, but above and beyond all that, we was brothers. We loved each other. And we hooked up and we developed a construction company. And Yehuda was the type of person, he didn't really know a lot of construction now. He can go out and get $1 million job, but look, Baruch, I need you. You gotta come up here. Because I'm a builder. And whenever he called, I said, okay, we come. You get the job, we come. And we worked together. We slept together. We lived together. We ate together. We laughed together. We cried together. That's my brother.
Yes.
My family. And he called me, he was in San Antonio the night before he made transition. And he called me often. He would just call me and say, Baruch, I'm thinking about you. And he was crying out because his dreams he had were so huge and so big. He was unlimited in what he wanted to do and what he wanted to go. He had a great love for his people. And he called me and he said, Baruch, I think I got the flu. The flu was going around real widespread. He said, I got chills, I got fever. He said, I just finished eating and I'm getting ready to go to the hotel and lay down. I said, okay. I said, go ahead and get you something to take to help you get some relief, make sure, you're all right, call me in the morning. I said, okay, I'll call you in the morning. I didn't hear from you that next morning. But that wasn't unusual. Because, we moving all the time. So I knew within a day or so I would hear from him. But then I got a call from Hoshiana. He said, hey, you with Yehuda? I said, no, I'm not with Yehuda. I'm in Mississippi. She said, well, Yehuda is gone. I said, what? Yehuda gone? What are you saying? Hey, Yehuda made a transition. I said, wait, I just talked to Yehuda less than 72 hours ago. I said, yeah. And I'm not going to sit up here and tell you that that didn't have a strong impact on me. For 3 days, all I could think about was Yehuda, my brother. I came and began to tell you, we'd be here for days if I told you all the things that we did together. We traveled the world together. We did things together. We were like, we complimented each other. We were such a great team together. But as those have so eloquently said that Ben Asiel and Yehuda did not go anywhere. They just transitioned. Yehuda is right here with me. He's in my mind. He's in my heart. He's in my soul, my spirit. My love for that brother.
Hi, everybody. Hey. I didn't think that I had the strength to do this. I'm gonna try to keep it together. Yeah. But I'm gonna do it. I'm one of the oldest of the 15 children that my father had with 4 wives, okay? And my baby brother and my big brother. I want to start off with, let me get it together, okay. My father took us to Israel, started us, three little children, me being Ahava, and I remember being a little girl, Chicago, Peel Hill, and everything changed from that. We grew, and I looked up, and we had 4 mothers, and like I said, a family of over 15 siblings. We were happy. We ran the Holy Land, and my father accomplished his job that he wanted to do, would free us. We did grow up knowing about these worldly ways of America. So me being, okay, it's kind of tough, but I kind of want to do it. So I just needed to let my father know, my parents know that his children and these 2 sons, his job was accomplished. He took us away from an evil place, and we grew up. What I want to piggyback off what the brother said, Baruch, they were beyond their years. Prince put into us, all his kids, such a huge spirit, such strong leaders. And I don't know if you know it, but these guys were like legends. They have a spirit that they might have been here a little too soon, but it's going to be carried on. He has a host of children, beautiful children, and I'm sure his legacy and his name will continue. The same with my big brother, Yehuda. Such a loving, kind, good-hearted person. All he wanted for our family was to continue to stay strong and connected. And we will do that, Yehuda. You don't have to worry about that. I got that. I keep us together and I keep us strong. We were waiting on some of our siblings who still were in the Holy Land, who still lived there. And most of them made it, except for one of our sisters, Michal and Uriel. And Michal called me, and her heart was very, very, she had a heavy heart because she couldn't make it to get on that flight. And as she lost her mother, and she wasn't able to have closure with that, she just asked me to read some words for both of her brothers on her behalf. And that's really what I came up here to do. But I couldn't just only do that. I wanted to represent all of the children, all of the siblings, for everybody today. So I'll just read. This is from Mikal, my baby brother and my big brother. It's important that we perceive our loss in a way that we gain nothing but the good and positive. We should be aware of our blessings in having one another. Although my brother's souls may rest in peace, we must honor them. We must honor life, and we must honor the life we are blessed to live. It's the only way we will forever live with their spirits. She says, rest in peace, rest in heaven, Yehuda and Ben. She says, my life will forever be full of the wonderful life you both have lived, and the one I am still blessed to have. It's an honor to have shared life with you both. And so I celebrate your lives today, and you will forever be in my heart. Love your sister, Mikal. Got to change, for there are not many things right here in this life that you and me can be so very sure, except raindrops from the clouds and the sun lights up the sky, and the hummingbirds, they fly. Yes, the winter turns to spring, a wounded heart must heal, but never much too soon. Yes, everyone and everything's got to change. The young become the old, and mysteries do unfold. But that's the way of these times. Yes, everyone and everything's got to change. For there are not many things right here in this life that you and me can be so very, very sure of, except raindrops from the clouds and the sun lights up the sky, and the hummingbirds, they fly. Raindrops from the clouds, sun lights up the sky, and hummingbirds, they fly. this world. We know that Yahuwah knows that every little thing must change in this world. Must change, must change, must change. Everything must I was blessed to read their journey of life. The journey of life, Prince Asiel Ben Asiel Jr., his mother Joanna pregnant, with her third child, boarded a plane to fulfill the promise given more than 4,000 years ago, that no matter where you are one day, I will bring you back to the land of your fathers. Thus says the Lord. So on a bright and hot June 13th, 1972, Ben Asiel, his name filled with promise, was given to His Excellency, Prince Asiel Ben Israel, and your honor, and he was born in the Holy Land. Traveling over a dusty desert road for more than 25 minutes to the hospital, his mother's prayers resounded throughout the universe, asking Yah, please just give me a healthy child. Awaiting his arrival with joy and anticipation. Surprisingly, it was that baby boy, Ben Asiel, popped out his head, arriving without notice, just like men knew how to do, or assistance. The proclamation was made, the baby is here, the baby is here. Exhilaration, wonder, amazement filled the atmosphere. But this was the firstborn son to Prince Asiel and your honor. Shaped in purpose and destined for greatness, Ben Asiel grew up amidst the rolling mountains of the naked desert of Israel. He grew strong and was wise beyond his years as a young boy and stood out among his peers. This Masonic child was exceptionally intelligent, explorative, and definitely he was inquisitive. Gregarious and beloved, Ben Asiel instinctively knew that he was chosen and became a leader in his class. He was a visionary. He was a forward thinker. This long-awaited son knew his calling, lived his dream, and carried out the plans birthed in his spirit. His mantra was, don't fear, living the truth. Ben Asiel graduated salutatorian of his high school class, the New Kingdom School, Dimona, Israel. He then furthered his education with a coveted scholarship at the School of the Prophets at Jerusalem, studying under the great headmaster, Prince Dr. Shalom Ben Yehuda. Ben Asiel pursued his interests in the international arena, and that he certainly did, desiring to walk in his father's footsteps. Ben Asiel wanted to be an ambassador to the nations. And you can best believe that this brother is an ambassador wherever he is right now. Ben Asiel's pursuit of international studies fueled his hidden passion for biblical studies, resulting in him becoming an exceptional biblical scholar. He expounded on the heritage of our people, expertly relating the biblical truths to the modern experiences and bringing a fresh perspective to the scriptures. True to his destiny, he traveled throughout the world,
working, living, and sharing God's truth in Africa, Europe, and North America. He leaves for us a canon of writings and speeches that will bring understanding and enlightenment to the future generations. Ben Asiel, scholar, leader, visionary, was also the proud father of 9 beautiful, fine children. His legacy, his loves, and his life. In the fall of 2017, Ben Asiel traveled with his father, Prince Asiel Ben Asiel, to Ghana, West Africa. After embracing the opportunity to continue and expand upon the work of his father, he began development of an innovative and uniquely sustainable village, a sanctuary of hope and peace, where the human spirit could be renewed, lives mended, and hearts restored. It was while living in Ghana that this warrior became ill and transitioned from this place on the 11th of June, just 2 days before his 46th birthday. Ben Asiel, who legally changed his name to Prince Asiel Ben Asiel Jr. in honor of his father, will forever be kept alive by the continuation of his dream and work by his children, Ahava, Mbar, Ben, Maya, Sarah, Yehuda, Channing, Isaiah, alone. His parents, Prince Asiel and Joanna, mothers, Havana, Shalania, and Yifa, sisters and brothers, Alisa, Lori, Ahava, Mark, Hoshiana, Paulette, Michal, Vaya, Asiel, Uriel, Moriah, Kamina, Yadaya, Terry, Aria, Parikaya, Ova, Yosef, Ben Zion, Yamik, Aronia, aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, cousins, and a host of friends throughout the world, and that would include his Ima Zemra. In loving memory, Nolan Yehuda Marshall. In Chicago, November 6, 1961, Nolan, the oldest son of Margot Marshall, was born. Growing up, his younger years were spent on the south side of Chicago, where he attended Rebus Elementary during the time in history when African Americans were encouraging Black power, claiming our heritage. The Hebrew Israelites were making exodus to the Holy Land, the land of our fathers. Margot joined the movement, embraced Prince Asiel, then asked him to save her babies. And of course, knowing Prince, he did just that. This began the growth of our family. Thus we met Yehuda, talkative, but he was very responsible. Yehuda graduated from the Kingdom School in Dimona, Israel, and became a member of the Chosen First Fruit, a young adult organization whose purpose was to train, assist young people as they grew into the footsteps of the elders to become leaders of the world. During Yehuda's young adulthood, the community was under siege and faced deportation. Many members of the community, including Yehuda, were deported back to America. Knowing that it would take time before he would be able to return to his homeland, he worked and became a licensed contractor. His greatest was rebuilding and helping to restore New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina. He built across America from Louisiana to Mississippi to Texas. He was always concerned about and enjoyed family. He visited family as often as possible and created memorable moments, playing Scrabble with his mothers, one of his greatest joys. He was loved undoubtedly and unconditionally by his family. His legacy lives on and will throughout his daughters, Mahalia and Nikita, sisters and brothers Oceana, Nicole, Alisa, Ahava, Asiel, Uriel, Moria, Yeshadiah, Teir, Aria, Orval, Yosef, Yamik, Elrona, uncles, aunts, nieces, nephews, cousins, and again, a host of friends. We bless them, and again, we know that truly they really dream. Yosef, Elrona, uncles, aunts, nieces, nephews, cousins, and friends. We bless them, and again, we know that truly they again a host.